just tell me when we can start pouring the water. And
Sure. We are going to be live really, really soon. I guess that we are going to be live.
You're already
now.
live.
So,
you can start.
Yeah. So there you go. Hi, my friends. Really nice to have you with us here. We also have Ivan, who is going to be cupping some coffees with us. And more than that, we are going to talk a little bit about coffee, about connection. What for me, specialty coffee is much more about connection than flavors. Of course, the flavors are really important as well, but we're here to connect a little bit, get to talk a little bit with Ivan. And after the cupping, we will also have the conversation with 3 producers that are going to be with us here as well. And it's going to be really, really nice to have you guys with us. So I'm really excited. Ivan, thanks for being here with us. So please introduce yourself.
Well, hi guys, hi everyone. I'm a head roaster and the co-owner from Split, and we have a Split Coffee Roasters. And yeah, Lucas invited me to cup their coffees from Brazil, and it's so glad and it's a huge honor to me to be together with you guys from Brazil and to have connection with you. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. And I also would like to better explain why we choose you to be with us. And first of all, it's because when we were talking, we really felt that you truly, deeply, you are really worried about the producer and about the connection that you're creating in a sense. And that's really what we are about. So that's why we chose you to be with us right now, to be in this kind of conversation. And yeah, I'd love to hear what are your thoughts on this kind of relationship that you're always trying to build and how you approach coffee. If you'd like to talk a little bit and say what your approach to coffee, because we had a conversation a few moments ago and it was really nice. I would love to hear and see you sharing that with everybody as well.
Well, it's actually really simply, it's like specialty coffee industry is not only coffee, it's much more about producers. So actually it's a sad for me that in this industry at the moment and this in this sea of commercial coffees, it's everything about price. Nobody cares about producers, farmers who actually producing that coffee. We started our coffee shop and roastery with a clear thoughts that we are so small, and actually we are. So I think that's the biggest reason why me and my partner also, Mate, we think that everything is starting from producers, and they're the first in the chain, and everything in this business starting from them. So I think that we need to have much more respect for them, and in the end, and pay more money for their coffees.
That's amazing to hear. Like, as I said, we had a huge conversation about that. And it's so nice to see like the passion that you always talk about when you're talking about coffee, and to see how you're actually worried about get to know the producer and see how they produce the coffee, how do they treat the plants and everything. And that's really, really nice to see. And I'm glad to have you here. And it's going to be amazing to see also what questions you're going to bring for the producers that they are going to be happy to answer later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there something else that you'd like to bring up before we start pouring the water and then we start cupping?
Nothing special. I hope so that we will like all these coffees, and that's all.
Amazing, amazing. So I'm going to finish heating up the water so we can start. Okay.
Okay.
Nice, nice. Already 2 seconds or so. So I'm starting to pour the water right now. I'm starting the timer. I see that some friends are already here with us. It's really, really nice. Also some producers. Oh, I can already smell some coffees that are really, really great. I'm excited already.
$3.24.
Okay. Ooh. Mm. I bumped it onto the table, so unfortunately one of the crows is already broken. But yeah, that's life. Unfortunately.
Ove su znači, ove loše, znači ovo je više slikanje, znači ovo je trebamo slikavati.
Did you already smell some of the coffees, Ivan?
Sorry?
Did you already smell some of the coffee?
Yeah, 3.24.
Do you have any?
It's I don't know. It's on the smell for me. It's the best.
Yeah, I have to agree. It has a crazy smell. I'm not going to give you too much.
In the end, that will be the most expensive coffee.
We'll see. I'm actually not sure. I'll have to check the offer list. But it's not about that. But yeah, 324, it's really, really, not really good. Whoa. Is there any other ones that call out your attention?
Sorry?
Which other one called out your attention?
For me, 305. I don't know why.
Yeah, also good. Yeah. The 305 is from Alton. He's going to be with us. Also, the 324 is from Maxwell, who is going to be with us as well later on. So it's going to be nice. I'm glad that you like it, their coffee. Okay, so for me, it's already time to break the cross. So I will begin to break the cross. And when you start, if you want to talk a little bit about any of the coffees, just go ahead, feel free. It's your time, okay? Yeah. We tried to send you a really diverse samples. So we have some really good ones that I really, really like, and some that are more basic, but are also really, really good, really stable, and really good for blend and espressos. So there's a bit of everything on the table. Hopefully you're going to enjoy.
What's that number?
No, I'm just talking about the overview of everything. Okay. Yeah, I'm holding myself so I don't express anything before we start the conversation. So, yeah, whenever you start, I'm going to grab a mug so I can clean up the cup, and then we'll be able to finally start.
Okay.
And for those who are also joining us and also cupping some coffee along, well, we're going to clean the cups right now, and then we'll actually start cupping. And if you'd like to say something on the YouTube on the YouTube chat, feel free. We will be reading that as well. So yeah, let's go. Ivan, did you already finish cleaning the cups?
Yeah.
Oh, you're quick. You're quick. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fast.
So if you'd like to start cupping, feel free. If you need a little bit more time, my timer is still running. So if you want to use this time to explain a little bit better about split coffee and what is your approach to coffee, if you'd like to go a little bit deeper on that, feel free. That's your time.
Okay.
You can also explain to everybody.
I have respect. I will wait for you to clean your all cups, and then we will start together. Okay.
So if you want to use this time to just talk a little bit about the split coffee, your roastery, and how's that going during pandemic, and how's going to be your approach for coffee from now on and everything. Yeah, I mean, just feel free. That's your time.
This talk is free.
Sorry, I didn't understand you. Can you repeat, please?
I said it's free.
Great, great, great.
It's not easy when you are sitting.
Yeah, exactly.
So how's the situation in Brazil with the pandemic and with all it?
Wow. I saw that in Europe where they are starting the second wave. Here we didn't pass the first wave. So, yeah, we're a bit delayed on that. But people are just starting to not care that much and just go in the streets. And that's really bad because that's just going to delay everything. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's how it's going in Brazil. People are just walking around without a mask and everything, not worrying that much. That's really bad.
Yeah, the same thing is actually here, but in this second wave, for example, in Croatia now, it's a pretty bad situation. So people actually starting to realize that it's actually they need to be care about the olders, not for just the kids, that. So actually, in Croatia, everybody's wearing a mask on the street and everything. So I don't know. I only hope that this will be over as soon as possible.
Yeah, I just hope that everything gets back to normal, dude. Just I'm just getting crazy here, staying here like at home. It's just too much for me. So yeah, I'm ready. Which one do you want to do first?
Actually, I did numbers a little bit different than you. So actually, just a second. 307, 324. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Well, I will start from the beginning. So let's go.
Yeah, go ahead. So which one are you starting with?
I'm starting with 307.
307.
I will cut actually the old coffees just fast.
Just a bar? Yeah.
Yeah. And then
we go back to them. Yeah. Got it. I'll do the same. Yeah, that's it. Ivan?
Yes.
So did you finish it up?
Yeah.
So yeah, do you wanna go one by one, just talking a little bit about each of them and just see what you think?
Yes, of course.
Okay, go
Uh,
ahead.
so I will follow your numbers, so it will be easier for you and me.
Okay, that's great. So
So you got
307.
307.
Mm. Okay, this 307 is from Valdinet. It's a Pupa Natural, and it's one of the coffees that I really like on the table. I'd like to
Yeah.
hear from you. What are your thoughts? What do you get? Go ahead.
Uh, it's a pretty nice coffee. It's actually really low acidity for me, and it's like full body.
Yeah.
So I think that 307 will be great coffee for espresso. It's like a little bit like not usual Brazil coffee.
Yeah. It is really sweet. I really like that. It's just like so smooth, and like you can feel it on your mouth really well. For me, that's a really good one.
Yeah, you're right.
I can get some brown sugar on this one, some red fruits as well. Just really, really sweet. I really like that. Yeah.
And the second one is the 324. Actually, my favorite on the table.
324. Yeah. This is Maxwell is going to be with us here. He will be able to better explain you how he made this coffee. But it's really nice because this is an anaerobic fermentation, and he's from a region that's not really well known from producing great coffee, and that's what I really like about this coffee because like the region is not well known for great coffee. He took such care of this for this coffee. He did such an amazing job, and he ended up with such great coffee, and that's what I love. And
Anaerobic
really nice.
fermentation.
Yeah, that's anaerobic fermentation.
So for me, the second one is a 311.
311. Okay.
This one is like a green apple.
Yep.
Sweet malic acids. This one is beautiful.
I agree. I have to agree. I have to agree. I got a lot of citrusy in this coffee, some yellow fruits. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this can be a really versatile coffee. Like you can also use this as a filter, as espresso, I can see it's working really, really well. I actually had this as espresso a few times and was really good. So yeah, this is one of the coffees that I see that it can fit everywhere. And the best part is that Fernanda Polo, she has a lot of this coffee. So it's a bulk coffee. She has a great volume of this coffee, and it's also great. So it's a good deal to take this kind of approach, and it's also an amazing price. I'm not going to talk about that values right now. Like everybody has them on the website, because I'm not trying to sell anything here. It's just like a conversation, you know. But this is a good catch. I really like this coffee.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So the second one is a 325.
325. Let's go.
There is nobody in this coffee.
Yeah, I like the aftertaste of this one. It calls out my attention.
I think that 325 will be good filter coffee.
Good filter coffee. I agree. Yeah. It's a natural from Rafael Bastos. And Rafael sent us some great samples. Yeah, he had some amazing coffee. So congratulations, Rafael. If you're hearing that, yeah, you're doing a great job.
327.
327. Let's go.
It feels like almonds, nuts, almonds.
What? Sorry, what did you say?
Like almond in a coffee.
Almond. Yeah. For me, it's really sweet on my point of view, and like it has this this kind of low acidity, but it also has some great citrus. I don't know if you got what I mean. I don't know about you. Like, I mean, that's what I got.
Yeah,
and I can feel it.
Low and medium range, but it's still, I like to say, alive. You know, it's like still it's here.
Yeah, and you can feel that on your mouth really well. Like I like it. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know how to explain what I'm feeling about body. But this is the kind of coffee that it doesn't have like it's not full body, but it sits well in the mouth.
Yeah. It's and it have a beautiful aftertaste.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to cut it again. Yeah, it leaves you with this brown sugary aftertaste that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
In
the end, we'll all
so what else
in this table. In the end, you know, it's like we really like all these coffees, you know.
I mean, yeah. I also like a lot of the coffees that we sell, so I cannot sell. I cannot say anything different than that. All these coffees, we cut them and we decided to sell. So yeah, I have to agree. I really like them. Some are more basic, of course, and some are more exotic. But yeah, all of them I feel like they have their space and a really good place to sit.
yeah, of course. Let's go move on. It's a 326.
326. There you go. if you're a roaster and you're watching us right now and you're also cupping the coffee, or if you already cupped it, let us know what are your thoughts on each of those coffees. I would love to see, and that's really, really nice to hear from you guys. And if you're not cupping, stay tuned, because we are also going to bring some producers to chat a little bit, and that's a really good part as well, because we can get to know the producer and learn a little bit how they produced some of those coffees. So if you also have some questions, if you cup it, I don't know, 324, for example, that's a low altitude and also not a famous region, and produces amazing coffee. If you also have a question to ask Maxwell, please go ahead. Also for the other producers, you can also leave some questions. We will be happy to answer, and we will bring them here to answer to you. So yeah, enjoy that. So going back to Ivan, please go ahead.
I get a little bit lost, when you started talking. I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that, because there are people behind the camera asking me to do that, because sometimes I just get stressed on talking to you and having this kind of conversation, and I just got lost. And I mean, we have also talked to the people at home. So yeah, thank you, roasters that are watching us as well. Let's go back to Ivan. You're cupping this one a lot. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing.
I'm just thinking. Tell me more about 326.
Okay, 326 is a coffee from Dimas. He's a really nice producer. He's doing an amazing job, and he's one of those producers that can produce a good coffee with great volume as well. And he's not a big producer. He's a small, medium-sized producer. Here, it's let me see.
For me, this is like a milk chocolate. Really low acidic. And
yep.
I think this is a really good coffee for espresso.
Yeah, I have to agree. He produced a lot of this coffee, and what I got here is like brown sugar. We got some red fruits. He also has a really good body, on my point of view. Yeah, it just worked well for me. I really like this one as well. Dennis is doing a great job.
Yeah, thank you for this coffee. Well done.
Yeah. You want to move to the other one? Which one am I missing?
305.
305. Oh, this is a good one, Elton. Both coffees from Alton that is on this table, I really enjoy. Like that's my view. So let me hear from you. So what did you get from this coffee?
Heavy body.
Yep.
It's similar like a previous one. It's it's really beautiful aftertaste.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, very pleasant mouthfeel.
I agree. So what I got here is also some
red fruit.
Some raspberries as well, some red and yellow fruits that has some really this really nice balance. And this is the kind of coffee that I really like because it's balanced. You know, you can see the softness on your mouth, but it also has a really good body and a really nice balance of flavors.
I think
I really like the coffee
most
from
balanced coffee on the table. Sorry, but I think
please go ahead.
I think that this is the most balanced coffee on the table for me. Maybe.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe it compares really well with the 307, if I'm not wrong, as a balanced coffee. Yeah, no, but 305 is even better as a balanced coffee. Yeah, I have to agree.
I would say that 305 is better balanced than 307.
Yeah, I agree. I was wrong. I had a bad memory of this one. So the last one that's missing is the 306, right?
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but this one is just woo. Oh, yeah. So this is an actual coffee from Alton. Sorry, what did you say?
What's this fermentation?
This 306 is not a fermented one. This is a natural. If I'm not wrong. And there's a red fruit. I get from this one some red fruit, some strawberry, some floral. Like there's one other coffee that are just poof.
Yeah, this one is beautiful.
That's beautiful, definitely.
So then,
yeah, that's great.
306. I will say definitely the winner on this table is a 324 for me.
324. Yeah, I have to agree. I really like this anaerobic fermentation. Some roasters don't like that much anaerobic fermentation. I really enjoy, and we also had some great anaerobic fermentation coffee on our offering list. I really like this one. Not everybody likes, but yeah, I'm glad to hear that you also enjoyed. Axel is going to be with us here. So if you would like to leave some questions for him, I would be more than happy to bring that for him.
Well, I would like to know about 324 and about actually everything about 324. You know, okay. It's not like I don't have any specific question for him. I would like to.
I understand.
Yeah, I would like to know actually how he's doing his business and he's growing the trees and everything, you know, and how exactly doing this anaerobic fermentation.
Okay, yeah. Let's hear from him soon. So I'll ask him how he's growing his trees. How was the process of this anaerobic fermentation? What else do you also would like to know?
What's the quantities of this coffee?
The quantity?
Yeah.
I can check that for you. Like, hold on for a second. That and it's like small quantities. There's not big amount at all. It's probably like 4 bags. If I'm not wrong. Let me just double check. No, this is 2.5 bags. Yeah, super limited.
And
super limited.
And I would like to know from this guy from this table. Actually, it's not easy. It's not easy for me to recognize. It's like I'm far away from the farms. So I can even imagine how that all works. But I would like to know what varieties they are growing. And for example, you have a beautiful coffee in Brazil. It's Laurina, variety.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What's the reason that it's not so much Laurina? For example, I don't know that, because actually it's not easy to find. And that's the coffee that it blow my mind. So I would like to know what's the reason why the usually coffees from Brazil, it's red bourbon, yellow bourbon. Is that because of the climate and everything, because of weather, position and everything? Just about that.
Okay, I'll also bring that to them, but I can also answer some of these questions for you. I'll also ask them, of course. But like what we see the most here, first of all, Laurina, it's a coffee that is difficult to grow here, and it's not everywhere that you can grow this coffee. It doesn't have a really good productivity, so sometimes it's really hard, and it's a bold move to put a Laurina on your farm. So yeah, and you have to find a really good place to sell this coffee, and that's some of the big issues for some of those producers, because most of them are usually going to just sell that for the cooperative, which not paying them well at all to get a variety that's not going to be really well paid for. And that's mainly why that so you if you see who produces Laurina here in Brazil, usually are those huge farms that are already famous and already well known, and that's why and that's exactly why families started moving towards helping those small producers, so they are able to find a well channel for them to sell directly to roasters. Without worrying about logistics, import, export, all that we can take care of for them. So they don't have to worry. They can produce small quantities and be well paid for that. And hopefully we'll be able to help some of those producers to produce this kind of varieties. They are not that well that don't produce really good productivity here in Brazil. But I'll also ask Maxwell and the other producers why they produce the varieties that they produce and not other ones.
Thank you for your explanations about Laurina. It was like a good explanation. And actually, I don't have any questions. That's all, actually. If you have something on your mind that you want to ask me, feel free. But if you want something, more about us, about whatever you want, just be free.
Yeah, sure. So I really, when we talked a little bit a few moments ago, I heard a lot that you're doing a lot of work trying to get to know more about the producer and all that. And I feel like this is really amazing. And I'd love to hear from you. Why is that important for you? Why do you feel like it's important to get to know the producer, get to know their story? Why is that a thing for you?
I think that is pretty simple. It's like because they creating that product, so that's the huge problem, because I was saying from the view here in Croatia, because everybody, it's culture, it's normal to sit to have a coffee, but everybody sit in a bar and order a coffee, and nobody in the end cares. They just drink coffee and sitting on the terrace, have a cigarette, and nobody care who created coffee. But for me, it's totally opposite. It's actually they grow the trees, they pick it, they doing fermentations and everything. And I think that in that whole chain, they are doing the biggest business, the biggest job, and the hardest, because they do everything. On me is just to roast coffee, and on you is just drink coffee. So there is a lot of things that now we can talk about roasting and about preparation method and everything, because it's not just like to prepare coffee, and it's not just roast coffee. It's a lot of things to do before you can start roasting and even preparing the coffee at a counter and serving it. But I think that everything in this business started from them, and that's the reason why, for me, I think, and I hope so, that I will always have that on my mind, that they are the most partner, not you. They who is growing the trees are the most important.
That's just amazing to hear, because I couldn't agree more of you, because that's really important. And sometimes we don't give that attention to the producer. And if you just understand the whole chain, like, they start growing this coffee for a long time. They are taking care of those trees for a long time. And it's such a big preparation for this coffee to end up on your table. And sometimes we not even know what they've been through, and we are just enjoying our cup of coffee. And I agree with you. Like, it's the most amazing part is to get to know and to get to learn their story, to connect with them. Because for me, specialty coffee is not about flavors; it's about connection. It's about people.
And I do agree with you with that, because one thing more, because when for example, I ordered a coffee, you send me bags, you send me 2, 10, 100 bags. It's not important. I will roast it and I will sell it, and actually that's it. If I have one bag, I will open it, roast it, sell it. But they need to do so much things to create that one bag. It's not just the one bag, because when they wake up every day and they go to the farm, they are looking at trees every day. So it's not like, oh my God, I just roasted in a few hours 60 kilos. It's actually whole year in front of them to create that 60 kilos. So, that's the fascinating for me, because it's, for me, that's the beauty.
That's exactly the point. Like, there's so much behind those coffees, and so much passion, so much effort. Because for one coffee, like 3 to 4, to show up, like, they messed it up so many times. Imagine how many other coffees it was just not good, and they put it so much effort. They chose the cherry, they did everything perfectly, but in the end, it was not good. And one ended up being good. Like, it's, as so many others in the table. I'm just taking it as example.
There's
so much effort into it, and so many things going through for this coffee to end up on our table and being as good as it is. And it's just amazing,
Yeah, I'm sad that it will take probably next 20 to 30 years that most of people in this planet will know and be sure in that it's every tree and every farmer, it's paid fair and everything, because there is still this specialty coffee market is so small. It's too small for me, and I think that specialty coffee needs to go in this way, to respecting producers more, than equipment, than some material things. I think that farmers and the people who is standing behind the farms is the most important. Yeah.
Yeah, that is have to agree. And I wish that every roaster think like you. Like it's such an amazing way of approaching coffee. And I really hope that the roasters that are listening to us right now can be touched by your work, and so they can have another point of view on how to approach coffee and how to think about everything that we're just talking about right now. So yeah,
Yeah, I think
really
I think that it's a more and more roasters. I think it's a more and more roasters, and more and more people's business that it's thinking like you and me. It's like and every day it's more and more. So that's the reason why I'm happy. So yeah.
For example, last year I visited more than 200 roasteries to get to know them, to get to learn a little bit better about how they approach coffee and what are their thoughts on Brazilian coffee as well. And that's what I saw. Like many of those roasters are moving towards a approach that value the producers, that wants to get to know them and get to see that the producer is being well paid, what is really, really, really important. Some coffees that that they sell, like for cooperatives or some exporters, they don't make profit on it, and that's so hard. Imagine for you to work the whole year, and in the end, you don't make profit on the coffee that you're working with. That's just madness. So
that's sad. It's that's really sad. And just imagine, okay, you're from Brazil, but just have a think about how many is in other countries in the world. For example, take Africa, Central America. It's a lot of others. Even in African countries, Burundi and Ethiopia, Kenya. It's much harder for them than in Brazil. So just I think that we need to think in a whole market, and I think that it's not a good so that every day it's a more and more companies that it's trading the coffees, and they represent themselves like fair trade, like So that's the reason when you contact me and we start a conversation, I ask you a lot of things about farming, because I really want to know what's the behind the farming, because you're one of the few thousand companies that's doing the same business, but totally in a different way. And I'm really glad that I met you guys from Farmly, and I really hope so you will keep doing this what you're doing, and you're doing great. Thank you.
I'm really, really glad to hear that. That's really, really amazing. Thank you very much, my friend. Because like this is really important to hear from you, that you can see that we are really trying to do something different for the producer. Because Farmly is an impact business. Well, we were created in a way to start approaching coffee in a way that the producer can be well paid, that they can actually deeply connect with the roaster, and they can start a long-term relationship. And for us, that's really, really important. When we start to learn a little bit better about the European market, we learned that many roasters are starting to move to this kind of direct trade approach. But sometimes most of the producers that can direct trade, they are huge producers, and they are the producers that need that the least. So the small producers that actually really need to do this kind of relationship, that they really need to be well paid, and they are just not able to do this kind of relationship sometimes because they were not able to sell like those 3 bags or 2.5 bags. Imagine that. How would him be able to sell this coffee and ship that? And that's exactly where Farmly comes in, to try to help the producers So we just take care of the process for them so they can sell their coffee directly to the roaster. We just do the export, import, and logistics, but we never buy the coffee to resell, because every time that someone is doing that, we are the exporter who is buying the coffee to resell, they will end up taking a big chunk of the participation on the price of the coffee. What is not wrong, because as I said, they are taking a risk of buying the coffee. But we decided that's not the approach that we would like to do, because we figure out that by doing in this different way, the producers can end up with much more money on their pocket. And that's what Farmly is about: to connect people and pay well the producers.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Ivan, is there anything else that you would like to say? If not, I will invite the producers to join us right now. So, do you have any other questions? Anything else that you would like to say?
Nah, actually, that's all from me for now. And I hope so. This is just beginning of the big friendship, and I think that we will keep moving forward.
Exactly, my friend. More than anything, you're touching on a really good point. That's the friendship, and that's what we are always looking for.
Yeah.
This kind of relationship, and whatever you need, please just let me know. I will now then invite the producers. Thank you very much for joining us. Really, really amazing. I'm just happy that we found you, because we just share the same passion, the same approach to coffee. So that's really, really amazing to hear. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you.
I'll ask you to say bye to everybody that is hearing us right now. And if you may disconnect so we can invite the producers.
Yes,
thank you very much for
listening. I will say hi to everyone who is watching us at the moment, and hope to meet all of you one day. And yeah, we enjoy this coffees in this cupping session, and I hope so it will be more and more coffees in the future. And I will recommend everyone Farmly for sure, and they're really extraordinary coffees. That's all from me, and keep safe, guys, and that's all.
Thank you very much. Let's hear from the producers right now. Thank you very much, Ivan. Such nice words. Thank you very much. So Luca, who is translating for us, is going to allow the producers to join us right now. Thank you very much, Ivan, for everything. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ivan, thank you very much. He just left us. So, Lucas, who is translating for us, he's going to allow the producers to join the conversation right now. So,
Maxwell, thank you.
Okay, great. So, my friends, I'm starting to Portuguese right now. Opa! Fala, Maxwell, sucesso!
Hey, Maxwell, how are you?
Espera aí, só pouquinho que eu não tô conseguindo ver a imagem, calma aí.
Wait just a second that I'm fixing here my camera.
Fica aguardando aí. Vai ter seu tempo.
Okay, Maxwell, we'll wait for you to fix your camera. Take your time.
Conseguiu aí?
Só tô vendo um pouco da imagem, Lucas.
Tá virado, talvez? Acho que é por causa do celular. Como você tá no celular aí, talvez tenha ficado cortando.
Deixa eu ver se virar vai dar alguma diferença.
Ficar virado, você vai ficar, pra todo mundo, você vai ficar de lado. Então acho que é melhor você voltar.
Aí, agora deu certo.
Agora foi? Maravilha, meu amigo. Vamos lá. Primeiro de tudo, Não sei se você estava acompanhando aí a
So
tradução,
first of all,
mas
in
café,
the
meu amigo.
discussion, he really liked your coffee, my friend.
Então, primeiro de tudo, se apresenta um pouquinho e depois a gente
First
começa
of
a
all,
falar do seu
introduce
café.
yourself a
Vamos falar
little
como é que foi
bit,
sua relação com o
and
café,
then
como é
we'll
que
talk
começaram.
about the
Vai ser
coffees.
super bacana te ouvir.
It's gonna be
Tá,
super nice to hear you.
meu nome é Maxwell, né?
So my name
Sempre
is
fui
Maxwell.
criado aqui na roça,
I've
em
always
meio
been
café, né?
raised here at the coffee farm.
E quando eu estava ali com uns 15, 16
And when I
anos,
was about
minha
15 or
mãe foi
16
embora,
years,
né? Meu pai morreu, eu era bem novo.
my dad died, I was
E
pretty
aí,
young,
então, nós
and
ficou morando com minha avó,
my
né?
mom left
E
our
aí,
house, so I
a
lived
gente
in a
sempre
family
foi
number.
de mexer com lavoura, mas
So
é
we
aquele
always
sistema
worked
antigo, né?
growing coffee
Só
the
trabalhava,
old way.
colhia e mais nada.
We only
E
worked and
depois
then
dos
profited, and
18 anos que eu
and
me
then when I was
casei, eu comecei
18,
a cuidar de lavoura por minha
I
conta, né?
started taking care of
E sou um
harvest.
cara muito apaixonado pelo café.
And I'm a guy who is
Eu
passionate by
gosto
coffee.
muito, sabe?
I
Sou
really
apaixonado
love it.
mesmo.
That's my
Então,
real
tudo que é
passion.
novidade, eu procuro estar por
Everything that is
dentro.
new, I
E,
try to know
ultimamente,
about it,
mais ou
learn
menos
the
assim, uns
ways of
2
doing
anos,
it.
eu comecei
And recently, in the last two years,
estudar sobre o café especial
I
através da
started
internet, né?
listening about specialty
E
coffee
aquilo
on
me
the internet.
encantava, sabe?
And that just
Quando eu via as
amazed me.
pessoas falando sobre café
When I heard
especial,
people talking about specialty coffee,
para nós aqui parecia ser
for
uma
us
coisa muito
here,
distante,
it seemed to be something
sabe? Uma
really
coisa
far
mas
away
muito
from our
mesmo.
reality.
E eu dizia para minha esposa assim,
And I
uma
used
hora
to
eu
tell
vou
to my
ainda
wife, one
tomar um
day
café desse.
I'll be able to
E aí
produce
tudo
a
bem,
coffee
aí
like
foi
this
passando
one.
o tempo, passando o
So the
tempo.
time was passing,
E no começo do ano, eu fui convidado a ir para uma fazenda fazer um curso.
And at the
E lá
beginning
eu
of the
tive essa
year, I was
oportunidade
invited
de
to go to the
tomar
farm
o
to
café
make
especial pela
a
primeira
course
vez, cara.
to learn how to
E
grow
aí, rapaz,
specialty coffee.
eu apaixonei com aquilo,
And
sabe?
after that, man,
E vim pra
I
casa
discovered
e
my passion.
expliquei pra minha
I
esposa
came
e
in
falei com
here,
ela,
I
ó, eu
explained
quero
everything
isso
to
pra
my
minha
wife,
vida.
and I told her, that's what I want for my life. I want this coffee.
E nós não sabíamos de nada. A verdade era
But we
essa,
didn't
sabe?
know
A gente não sabia
anything
de
about
nada.
it. That was the
E aí eu
truth.
fui correndo atrás de curso e
So I
comecei
was
a ingressar no
chasing
meio da
courses
rua,
and ways to learn it, talking to people who were growing coffee in that
Quando
way.
chegou na poeta, eu falei assim, eu quero tentar fazer um pouco.
And when was the moment of the harvest, I tried. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of it. So I called two of my friends, and that was the beginning of everything. Those two, they were able. So I thought to myself, what if I have a chance to do it? So I also started to do the entire process of the suspended bed, fermentation, natural process. And in the middle of that, all of this was super distant for us. And I lived next to the road. So everyone was passing and they were laughing about me, saying things that they shouldn't. All this kind of stuff, then when we start doing something different from what everyone else is expecting. But this never stopped me. I kept believing in everything. So I kept struggling about it. It was a pretty difficult year, but I kept trying to do it. And then was at the end of the harvest. And then I met Inácio and he scored my coffee and he told me that I had a really great scored coffee. And even if we know just a little, doesn't have that much of knowledge about the coffee and everything wasn't exactly on the track, he told me that yes, I had the chance, I had potential to develop a great coffee. And that for me, I've already changed all my cropping and harvest process to adapt it to it. So today, I'm following a new process. So when was the day that Aguinaldo told me that family was interested in helping me exporting my coffee, and then my coffee was great for me, that was everything. For me, super satisfying seeing a coffee of mine in a different place, far away, and knowing that the people liked the coffee that I made. For me, is everything that I want for my family. It's not a small story, but that's the truth. Maxwell, man, your story is super nice to see. For how long you've started to producing specialty coffee? It was recently, no?
Isso mesmo.
Yeah, it was right now. It was recent. It's really great to see this work, and we decided to see, yeah, we're gonna try to do it, and you copied this specialty coffee, and you say that's why I want to produce, and now you did it. You fight for what you wanted, and I also want to thank Inácio for helping a lot all the producers to produce their specialty coffee with a great quality. So Inácio, Cabral, all of those men are amazing, and it's really great that they're helping the producers to find a way to grow their special coffee. It's super nice to see that you embraced the challenge, and what's what you said, in your region?
São Domingos das Dores, né?
I'm from São Domingos das Dores.
Das Matas de Minas, né?
It's the region of Mata de Minas. And in São Domingos das Dores, the reason people produce in specialty coffee. So, and I've already heard this from other producers, that they tried to produce a specialty coffee and everyone made fun about them. That's too difficult, you're not gonna make it. Sensorial of jabuticaba, you're crazy, this doesn't exist in a coffee. You're dreaming too big.
Até preguiçoso eu escutei, cara.
Even that I was lazy, I had to listen, man. One day, a guy told me that I was lazy and that I was imagining a lot. I had to hear everything. I heard from everything a little. And now after having your coffee super well seen at the table, I don't know if you were able to see it, but your coffee really outstanded and they really liked your coffee. Oh, there's no way. You've got to be kidding. Yeah, Ivan said that he really liked your coffee. That was incredible. You're doing a great job. Congratulations, Maxwell.
Isso, sabe, emociona a gente, porque
This is really important for me, because it was a really difficult struggle for me and my son. He was part of the entire process. We were working, and people making joke about us and not believing in our dream. This part, we've passed through it, because my dream was to produce a specialty coffee and have a specialty coffee. I can say it clear. And I like to say this to motivate my friends and other, my neighbors, my community. This is really motivational and it's priceless. Even after all this work that you have, even all of this that you've passed in your life, it's really great to see that you were managed to bring your neighbors, your community around this and help everyone to raise in this sense of growing this specialty coffee. It's not only about having a great coffee, it's the relationship that you develop. Is this of trying to help the people around us and bring the great for them too. So congratulations, it's incredible everything that you said. The coffee is incredible, I'll cup it again. But just to give you a live feedback for you about your coffee. It's cherry, jabuticaba, chocolate, strawberry. You can feel a lot of these red fruits. We have a great acidity as well. The sweetness is great, really well balanced. Some of the anaerobic, they get super strong, but this one is more acceptable for some roasters who may be a little bit bothered by the high acidity that the anaerobic coffee normally have. So this one has a really great behavior. It's in a path that is really well positioned to please both sides of people who really loves anaerobic and for those who are not that used to it.
Cara, eu só tenho a agradecer muito a Deus.
I only have to thank a lot to God,
Que graças a Deus a gente tendo fé, a gente
because
passou
thank
por
God,
isso,
having
né?
faith, we
E
passed
é
through a
igual
lot of
tô te falando,
difficulties.
eu não posso
And
esquecer
as I
do
say to you,
Cabral,
I
jamais.
can't forget the people who helped
Quantas
me,
vezes eu falei isso pra ele,
ever,
ele falou,
because
não,
a lot of
segue em
time
frente,
I
corre
talked to
atrás do teu
them
sonho.
about my difficulties
Então,
and they
assim,
told me to
eu
chase my
agradeço
dreams
muito
and to
isso,
keep
por ter
following what I
incentivado,
wanted.
sabe? Trazer isso pra nossa região,
Bringing this to my
coisa
region
que tem 2 anos
is
que
things
eu
that
tô
2
vendo na
years
internet, mas eu
ago
tava com
I was
medo,
seeing on internet, but I
sabe?
was
Eu tava
afraid
com
to
medo
try
que não
it
tinha ninguém, eu
because I
falei, eu
didn't
sozinho,
have
o que
anyone
que
to
eu vou
help
fazer?
me.
E
So
corri
alone,
atrás,
I
sabe?
didn't know how
E
I
hoje
would
ver
do
isso,
it.
cara,
And I'll
ver
see
isso,
this,
você falando isso pra mim,
you
cara,
saying this to me,
sabe? Isso é muito gostoso de se ouvir,
it's a
sabe?
pleasure.
Então,
I'm super glad.
essa semana passada, agora eu tava conversando com um amigo meu,
Last week I was talking to a
e
friend
ele
of
só
mine,
falou a simples frase,
and he only told me the simple this
Maxwell,
phrase.
eu vou esperar os bobos ir na frente. Se der certo,
Maxwell, I'll wait the sillies to go
aí eu
first,
vou,
and if it works, I
mas
will
se
go
não
after
der,
them
aí
then.
eu não vou apanhar não, vou
But
deixar
if
só
it's
pra
not,
vocês.
I'm not gonna be the
Rapaz,
one who
pensa assim,
to
não.
try it and maybe go into the
Pensa
wrong
em
path.
produzir café de qualidade pra você, pra sua família, sabe? Mas é um negócio meio contramão ainda.
It's important to produce a great coffee for you, for your family, but I don't think that we are in the right time yet.
A gente fica tão satisfeito, sabe? Porque
So
a gente sabe
we
que
get
cada
so
coisa que foi
satisfied
feito, cada grão que foi
because we know
colhido,
that each
isso é
bean
muito
that was
gostoso de se ouvir,
cropped,
rapaz. Isso não tem preço, não.
they
Isso é
were
muito
really
bom. Eu fico
taken
tão
care of in a
satisfeito, cara.
special
Você
way.
é doido.
For me, it's super important to me. You can't imagine how happy I am to hear everything that is just said.
O Ivan, que estava aqui com a gente antes na chamada, ele acabou de me mandar uma mensagem mandando um oi especial para você.
Ivan, who was here with me at the call, just sent me a message saying a special hi for you. And he's saying congratulations that you did an amazing job. So Maxwell, I'd like you to explain a little bit how you achieved to make such a great coffee, because I know that for the anaerobic we have an entire process. So I also like to know how you take care of the trees. So if I'm not wrong, the same harvest that you do for your commodity coffee, you use it to do the anaerobic as well. It's the same coffee, it's the same variety. So I'd like to know how do you make to do this difference? Because a lot of times some roasters doesn't have this vision. That here in Brazil, the biggest part of the producers of specialty coffee, they do both coffees with the same variety. Sometimes, of course, it changes the height of the plantation is and some different cares, but it's exactly the same coffee for both ways. So for my coffee, I'll talk another little story so that you can understand. I took some plantations to take care of. So last year, a buyer told me that my coffee was a little inferior of what I said, and he told me that he wouldn't buy it, but I knew that it wasn't, but it was his word against mine. So what I did, I told him that this year I was going to do everything different, with a different way of taking care of the plantation, of the harvest, with a special attention, thinking first that I wanted to produce the best coffee that I could. And that when the opportunity to deal with specialty coffee arrived to me, really got at the moment of when I was ready doing the crop. So I didn't do nothing different during this first process. Soil correction and pulverization a little bit from 3 to 4 times, and always my wife helping me. And that for being a really great rainy year, the coffees were really pretty, super nice to see. So what I told myself, if I don't do this now, I'll have to wait another year and I'll keep thinking this, I could have tried. So me and my wife, we were taking the coffees doing the selected and I was supposed to do the natural until then. The fermented, for me, I wasn't knowing it yet. I just see just what I saw on the internet. So when I went to Cabral, Inácio explained to me, Maxwell, you should try doing the fermentation. So I started doing this method. So we did the same process, doing the selected collection of the beans. So at the end, the time was short, and then was a lot of things to do. I didn't have anyone to help me, and we had a lot of coffees. So what happened? We were working until late at night, working a lot. We did this process. We did the suspended bed. We also did a little stuff. So I put all the coffee to dry, because I don't let the animals that I have to get close to it, and only my son. So we did it in a completely different way. Inside of a tight harvest with a lot of work to do, but it was so pleasant. And at the time we didn't see nothing different. So the only thing that I did that was a little bit different was not using glyphosate. All the parts was the same. The pulverization, the soil correction, all of these I did the same way that I used to do before. I didn't do nothing different from what I used. It was a little bit like that.
Perfeito. Só eu já vou pedindo aqui pro Luca, que está ajudando a gente aqui, para ele adicionar já os outros produtores, para a gente já ter eles na chamada também. Mas fala um pouquinho também como é que foi o processo de fermentação. Como é que você colocou na bombona, quanto tempo ficou.
So tell us a little bit more about the fermentation process, how time was incubated, and everything, because we already extended it a lot and we have other producers waiting to talk. So you can tell a little bit more about this experience. So here, we don't have a huge structure, it's small. So what I did, I bought a 500 liters box and I put it all the water. I let it dry, and then I put it inside of the boxy egg. I used to close it really well closed, and I used to mark it, and I did it between 12 and 14 days of fermentation, from 12 to 14, and that was the process that I made.
Bacana demais, bacana demais. É bom saber sempre como é que foi essa produção.
It's super great to know how was all this production. It's super nice to hear it.
Maxwell, eu vou abrir agora
Maxwell,
espaço aqui
I'll open space for Elton and for Valdir talk a little bit more, so we can also talk with them. Okay? If you want to stay in the call or if you want to get out, feel free. And we'll talk to you too, okay?
Tá certo. Eu vou continuar.
Okay, I'll keep it here.
Perfeito. Valdir, você tá aí com a gente?
Valdir, are you there with us? Elton, are you too?
Estão me ouvindo?
Can you hear me?
Perfeito. Pra mim tá um pouco baixo.
Okay, perfect. For me, I can hear you clearly.
Oi.
Hi.
Agora eu tô conseguindo ouvir um pouquinho. Se você puder falar um pouquinho mais alto só pra garantir, vai ser bom. Você consegue ligar a câmera aí pra gente, Valdir?
Can you turn your camera on for us, Valdir?
Ligou?
Is it on?
A sua, Valdir, ainda não. A do Elton aqui, Elton entrou também.
Yeah, Elton's also here. Yeah, as you can see all of you.
Elton entrou, Valdir entrou também.
Elton is here, also Valdir.
Eu tô te ouvindo bem aqui, beleza?
Perfeito, Elton.
Perfect.
Bom, vamos só preencher aqui como organizada.
Just to organize everything, Valdir, if you want, you can introduce yourself first, and then we open space for the others to talk. Tell us a little bit more about us, say hi to everyone. Hey, I'm super great.
Valdir, conta pouquinho. Antes deixa o Elton dar oi também, Elton. Tudo certo? Como é que você tá? Tá conseguindo ouvir bem a gente aqui?
Can you hear us well?
Sim, tava acompanhando aqui também pelo YouTube aqui. Entendeu?
Tava conseguindo ouvir. Falaram muito bem do seu café também, Elton.
They really said great stuff about your coffee as well, Elton.
Eu não consegui entender nada, eu vi que tô comentando bastante aí, né?
No Facebook estava em português e no YouTube estava em inglês, né? Talvez você pegar o link.
Eu não consegui acompanhar pelo Facebook não, só pelo YouTube.
I couldn't follow through Facebook, only here on YouTube. Oh yeah, I see, not a problem.
Bom, deixa o Valdir falar um pouquinho
So
da
let's
história dele.
allow Valdir to tell a little bit more about his
Pra
story.
gente conseguir fazer isso aqui de uma forma organizada, tá bom? Então, Valdir, conta um pouquinho dessa história, como é que você começou no café, como é que...
So tell us how you began in the coffee, how was your production, so that we can get to know you a little bit more.
Primeiro conta um pouquinho dessa história.
So first of all, tell us a little bit more about you, and then we talk about the coffees. Tell us about you, how you started growing coffee, your relation, how you knew specialty coffee.
Eu trabalhei aqui de meieiro. Trabalhei de meieiro, assim, 20 anos e tal, aí comprei essa propriedade.
So I worked for like 20 years, and then I was able to buy my farm right now. So I think that was really great how my coffee was the altitude that I grew it. So doing like 3 kinds of fertilization, and this really helped. We've been struggling doing it, doing more manual job, but I think that's really important. That counts in the final results of the coffee. And have you ever produced, or you always produced specialty coffee, or when you started doing it? So I only started now. I could have been growing specialty coffee all those years before, but we didn't have conditions, and we didn't have enough knowledge to produce the specialty coffee. We had great coffees, but we didn't have the great conditions to do specialty coffee, and now we do it. Yeah, that's an interesting thing, that a lot of producers are able to make amazing coffee, but they didn't know about the specialty coffee. Yeah, and we didn't have the conditions to do it, so it was pretty difficult. And how was for you the production of this coffee in special? How was the process? Can you tell us a little bit more about it? So I cropped it during 2 days in the right place to dry it. I've pulled it all over the terrain so he wouldn't fermentate. Only mixing it every 30 minutes. And when I finish it, I put it in a dryer. I mean, he was helping me to dry with only a little bit of fire. Yeah, that was tough. And each 30 minutes, moving the coffee was an intense work then. The post-harvest process was intense. Your coffee is also super great. I'll cup it again to give you a feedback. I don't know if you saw it before. They also said really great stuff about your coffee. Now it's more cold than it was before, but it's also really well balanced. For filter, for espresso as well. And it can be a coffee that matches everything, super balanced, with yellow fruits, caramel. It's a really, really good coffee. Congratulations, Valdir. And we'll try our best to make even better coffees in the next year. We're working for doing it. So do you want to leave a message for the roasters who are listening to you? Tell a little bit more about your farm or anything that you want to say to them. Well, the message that I can say that is worth it. We achieved to make a great coffee and we are working to make even better ones in the future. It's super nice. In a minute I'll go back to you again so that we can talk again. Now I'll let Elton talk a little bit more too, so that he can tell more about his story. Okay? Elton, you can open your mic and tell us about more your story. Now we have two different coffees for you here at the table, the 305 and the 306, and I'd love to listen a little bit more about your story. Hey, now can you listen to me? So tell us how you started in the coffee or the path that you've passed through to getting here. So I'm a coffee producer who has already 15 years. It's not something that ran in my family, but actually I started working with coffee with my stepfather in 2005. We started to doing a harvest shared with each other. And with the time that was passing, he gave me a little bit more of land to grow my coffee. And then when it was in 2010, I was able to buy my own land close to where was my stepfather's one. Here in my region in Araponga, everything is around coffee. All the money that enters in the region is provided by the coffee. So since I was 10 years, 11, 12 years, I was already working. And the harvest, I came from a poor family, so the money that we gained growing the coffee really helped my family. And at the time, that was the only thing that we had to do, the only option work. Until today, some people study and after school they go helping their families to grow their coffees. So the coffee is the main activity here in the region. But then in 2010, when I was able to buy my piece of land, where I have my farm nowadays, I started cultivating my own coffee in my own farm. Actually, it had an old harvest there, and I reformulated it to do it in my way. Nowadays, I have 9,000 coffee trees. In the regional championships that we had, my coffees always achieved to be in the finals with great coffees. And then in 2013, my coffee was the finalist in a dispute. But when they went there to get the coffee, the last sample of it, for the next phase, a man came and told me, this is a really great coffee, but you couldn't have stocked it in the way you did. But it was because I didn't have the experience with specialty coffee. So my coffee was at the final because of the samples, but then I didn't take care in the proper way, so I kind of lost it. So a friend of mine helped me. We saw a lot of things on the internet about cupping and cupping process and everything. So I started following everything about the specialty coffee. And then when it was last year, my coffee got the second place here in our regional dispute. It was a natural coffee, and for me it was a motivation, a bigger motivation. So this year I talked to my wife, because we've always working together producing micro lots. And then I was able to produce only specialty coffees. And now we are trying to commercialize our coffee. We managed to make micro lots with a great price and awesome quality. And now we are here hoping to be able to send our coffee to Europe. We will be really glad if we could make it. That's what I'm saying. I don't come from a family of coffee growers, so I had to learn how to do it by myself. I started doing it with the help of my stepfather in 2005. He came from a family who understand about coffee and who had the experience to grow it. So I think that really helped us here is the place. The land that we have there, if we take care, we can have a lot of coffees over 84 points. It's difficult to produce a coffee that doesn't achieve that score. So this year I was able to make 12 micro lots. It's not a lot, but it works. From what I've been seeing of specialty coffee, it totally works. Yeah, it's a hard work, but it's a great work, as you said. Yeah, before we just left the coffee there, the train, it mixed, we dried it. We had less difficulties, but then the coffee didn't acquire all the value that he can get when it's in an aerobic process. But now, yeah, it really works, and it's a path that I want to follow and improve even more. Yes, and you've been doing a really great job. Because I don't know if you saw, but also your coffees were really appreciated. I mean, the 306 for me is an amazing coffee. I really like it. The 305, it surprised me. I haven't copied it before. I copied it only now. And man, when I did it, I was amazed. It's really well balanced. Super delicious. I'll copy it here again. But all of those both coffees, they are super great. Yeah, just sweet coffee. Super interesting. The same thing for the 306. Man, this coffee is super different. It's really interesting. Congratulations for the awesome work you've been doing. We invited you not only because you produce great coffee, but because we know that you all have an interesting background and that you share our values and you're always trying to improve your way of growing coffee. That you're worried about the connection of really having your storytelling outside. Yeah, it was also super interesting that Ivan told us what he looked for coffee, and he's also a person who values all the background and the story of the production of the coffee and the producers. So I'd like to thank you and congratulate you for making all these efforts to improve your coffee production and making a better coffee and fighting for have your storytelling out there. Because you've put in a huge effort to be here, a huge effort to produce all these amazing coffees and to be taken to Europe and to arrive in a path of a great coffee. So congratulations, you're all being able to produce extremely high quality coffees. And the family is here exactly to help you to follow this process and to find a buyer who will value all of this and that we want to develop a partnership with you in making this more common in your day to have this contact with the roasters and be able to send your coffee and have your style talent and valued. I'll open here for you again if you want to say, give some last words. Maxwell, if you want to give a last goodbye, feel free. You're all muted, so open your mics. So say goodbye to all the roasters. And then I'll give the word again to Valdir. And then Elton again, so that we can make a closure here. And I really thank you all for being able to be here with us as well. Maxwell, you can give your last goodbye.
Tem o engraçado, Lu, é ver a história dos dois aí.
Lucas, it's super interesting to see the story of the both of them. Everyone working to make a better coffee with a high quality.
Eu não sei aí direito, o último rapaz falou que ele é de Araponga, né?
I don't know it quite well. The last guy said that he was from Araponga. I've already seen a few videos from there. And unfortunately, here, my region, we don't have the same conditions that they have in Araponga. So for us to get there and be able to have a great coffee and be able to say that we were able to make a special coffee only increases our satisfaction, the satisfaction that we have after producing. And I'd like to thank you a lot, you from Farmily, for helping us to be searching for roasters and helping us. Man, I have faith in God that in a small time our region will be known worldwide for our great coffees. It's just as we said, we are engaged to improve our quality and to acquire more knowledge and learn more about the coffees. Because what I knew before was so little. So I had really to make an effort and to search for the information and the ways. And I really liked the experience here to talking with you. If I have another experience, I'd like to do it again. And next year I hope to be with even better coffees. Oh, thank you, Maxwell, for coming here, for taking a little time in your afternoon to share your story with us. Man, it was awesome listening everything from you, knowing your journey. And without a doubt, we are always open here to take your samples and try to send your coffees to Europe, because you've been doing an amazing job. Thank you so much, Maxwell. A big hug. Thank you, everyone. Valdir, if you want to say something, to say goodbye to everyone, to the roasters and the other producers and everyone who is watching us, that's the moment. Why do you think it's relevant to everyone who is listening to us? Yes, perfect. Lucas, this year I was able to make this, was really God who helped me. I didn't have hope that it would work, and I did it, and fortunately it worked. And now I'm making everything that I can to improve and to learn more, and to make an even better coffee. It was super great to have someone who helped me and oriented me, to lead me in the path. And also you from Farmily that I've been talking. Or you or Aguinaldo. He helped me a lot as well. I thank him a lot too. And now I'm waiting you to negotiate my coffee and see how we'll proceed, but I have a hope that it will work. Yeah, we'll do everything to find the perfect roaster for you, Valdir. I hope to get back to you with great feedback. Probably we even have some roasters listening to us right now thinking about buying your coffee. Oh, I'm super happy to hear that. Thank you so much. Perfect, Valdir. Thank you so much for everything, sharing your story. It was super nice to hear from you. Thank you so much, my friend.
passar aqui a palavra agora pro Elton.
Now I give the word to Elton. Elton,
Falar isso.
if you want to say something, a few words to the roasters who are listening to us, everyone who's listening, feel free.
Ô, Lucas, fechar aqui
Hey Lucas, just to finish here,
E assim, o que eu tenho que falar pro torrefador
what I have to say to the
eles
roasters,
possam estar dando uma olhada diferenciada.
if they could give a special attention to our coffees,
Sabe o tanto que é trabalhoso,
because
né?
we know how hard it is to
Pra
produce
fazer
these
esse café
coffees.
especial. E não é simples.
And we have a lot of work,
como
it's
o
not
Maxwell
simple,
falou, porque
like
a
Maxwell
gente já
said.
tem uma coisa que a gente
Here
sabe,
in my
que é
region,
altitude e altitude do clima.
we have
Só
the
que,
help
assim,
of the
temos
altitude
de
and the
maquinário,
climate
tá
characteristics.
beneficiando esse café aqui. Deus sabe a dificuldade que a gente tem.
But everyone knows that it's super hard to cultivate it.
Então, tipo assim, eu falo pra gente estar fazendo esse trabalho, a gente
So,
tem que estar tendo
for us being able to do this work,
olhar especial pra esse café.
we have to give a special look and a special attention and make a lot of effort. And always cultivate the coffees with the hope, because it really works when we see how we can be remunerated by the price of the specialty coffee. It's really different from normally of what we are in the others, and really pays the work that we have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that all the roasters will give a special attention to all these coffees. They are amazing, I have no doubts that we'll have great feedbacks. I hope that in the next week, I'll give you some great news. Look, that's his son. His name is Heitor. The name of the farm is in an homage to his son. Hi, Heitor. Awesome, thank you, everyone. It was really great, this conversation that we had. It was incredible to have you here. And once again, is what I always say. Specialty coffee for us is so much more than only coffee. It's about people. It's about connecting people. It's about hearing the background, the story that they have, to know the path that they follow to arrive there. And make sure that the story can be telling outside, not only for the roasters, but of the buyers, the person who will consume the coffee. Because all this work that you have is amazing. Before the harvest, everything that you did during the harvest, the preparation. When we're only taking the coffee, sometimes we don't think about the entire effort that you had behind it and all the stories that are behind that coffee. So all this work that you've been doing for the roasters, they'll get to know you a little bit more. So we only have to thank you for all your dedication. Thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed the experience. The roasters who are interested in buying some of these coffees, we had the samples. You can send me a message, or you can send a message to Isis, or you can even buy it directly from our website. But we are here to help you in any doubts that you have. Don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much to everyone. For the producers who were here with us, thank you so much to Ivan, who was our invited roaster. It was really great as well. He made a really accurate evaluation about the coffees. Thank you so much for who is watching us. Huge hug for everyone. We want to change the way coffee is being sold in the world. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye.